aside from duty, there's also feelings, and more specifically, moral feelings. And the reformed Scrooge um, becomes transformed into uh, a conscientious man, having previously been an unconscientious man. And the fulfillment of his genuine duties owes its origin to, I think, and this is getting back to the feeling part, um, the fulfillment of his genuine duties owes its origin to the elicitation of powerful moral feelings or sentiments. And specifically, we see in the story that it's the elicitation of feelings of remorse and feelings of love that awaken that genuine sense of duty within him. And that communalistic duty, which I was talking about, if we want to accept that characterization of Scrooge's duty. Now, these feelings that Scrooge is feeling are what the developmental psychologists like Vygotsky refer to as the effective volitional basis for moral development. And in Scrooge's case, it's the effective volitional basis for his development into a conscientious man, and hence his development into a more authentically moral man. Whereas previously he had only presented the facade of a moral man, pursuing his own narrow and conceited duties towards himself. So these feelings are important for moral decision making, and I know researchers like neuropsychologists like Antonio Damaso talked about the importance of feelings with regards to decision making, and I think this can extend to moral decision making. And he talked about somatic markers, and this is kind of the notion of somatic markers is part of his broader hypothesis of what he calls the somatic marker hypothesis. And so that hypothesis is proposed by Damasio, and it's one which he argues that emotional processes guide behavior, particularly decision making. And somatic markers essentially are feelings felt in the body, and which are associated with specific emotions. So, for example, rapid heartbeat is associated with anxiety. So Damasio thinks that people who are lacking these somatic markers, these feelings in the body, make ineffective decisions in their lives. And his experiments show that. So in applying this hypothesis and way of thinking to the story we've been talking about, we can perhaps better appreciate why it's important that Scrooge has these moral feelings, since without them, he doesn't seem to be able to act as an authentically moral person, as an authentically conscientious person, as an authentically dutiful person.